What's up, two-timers? Back again for another video. And if this is your first time on the channel, I am new, aka new two times. And on this channel, you will find a bunch of videos about photography, a little bit of tech, and basically just videos that will help you become a better photographer, editor, things like that. No matter if you're amateur or pro, it's always good to learn a little something from a different perspective of a different photographer. So let's jump right into it. Today we're going to be talking about the S-curve. Now, if you're a new photographer, new to editing, you're probably avoiding the S-curve like the plague. Because when I first started, I had no idea what to do with it, and I didn't want to touch it. And I thought that that was fine, and I could get around it by editing with the other parts of Lightroom. Not so much. You have to touch the S-curve. The S-curve is life. Let me show you why.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go again.
So here's a picture of my good friend XOXO Live. You can find her on YouTube. You can also find her on Instagram. So here's one of the favorite pictures I've ever edited of her. So I'm going to show you just what a slight tweak to the S-curve can do. And it's not hard, and there is no right or wrong way to do it. It's all based on what you see and what you like. So don't be afraid of the S-curve. So let's hop right into it. So right here, you'll place your 3 points on the curve. I definitely should get a mouse for this because I do not like doing it with the pad. For all you out here, I suggest you do this with a mouse because it's a lot more control than using the little pad here. So anyways, you got your 3 dots set. The bottom half of the line is for your shadows. The middle of the line is for your midtones. The top of your line is for your highlights. You move the bottom point down, your shadows are going to get darker. You move it up, shadows are going to get lighter. Pretty simple. You move your midtones darker, midtones lighter. Highlights lighter, highlights darker. So basically, the thing with the S-curve is you want to barely do anything to it. Just the slightest tweak can cause so much havoc. That's probably why people are so scared of it. But what I like to do when I edit my pictures, I always start with the shadows. I naturally like my pictures to be a little bit darker, so I always bring the shadows down just a little bit, ever so slightly. This is the first thing I do before I start editing the picture, by the way. Then I move around my midtones. I'll go up, down, see what looks better. Obviously a little bit down looks better for me. Now she looks like she's popping more. If you can see the before and the after, she's just popping just ever so slightly away from the background. For the highlights, I don't like my highlights to really be in your face like that. So I bring them down. It kind of brings out the natural skin tone just a little bit. And then at the very bottom, this is where the blackest points on your picture are. I always like to bring those up a little bit. They call it crushing the blacks. Kind of gives it like a faded look. So already you can see I barely did anything, and look how much better the picture looks. This is after, this is before. This is after, before. So if you notice, she pops a little bit more from the background. When I moved the midtones, the background kind of got darker and allowed her to just really shine in the picture. Now the other thing with the S-curve is you can edit the 3 colors with the S-curve. So if you go to the blue, which is, if you know anything about my photography, I love blues in my picture. You can make a point in the shadows and just ever so slightly add some blue into the shadows. You see, if you go up a little bit, it adds a little bit more. The thing about this S-curve is it's really not that difficult. It's just basically what you like. I myself usually don't edit the blues, reds, and greens separately. I always just do the RGB and I just leave it at that. But if you want to experiment, I do suggest you experiment because this will change your whole picture. It's just all about what you want to do with it. And it's that simple. There's really not much else to teach about the S-curve. You edit that little point, you see the little point I did. That's kind of how I like my pictures, but you might like it completely different. Just play around with it. It's nothing to be scared of. It's definitely kind of a learning curve, pun intended.
Just Donna and me, and the dummy makes three.
But play around with it. So after I edit the S-curve, I usually come up here and start editing the exposures and all that type of stuff. But I will save that for another video because I don't want this video to be too long. And you can spend hours editing one picture. So if you want to see me edit this picture from beginning to end, maybe in a couple videos in different sections, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know. And if you are going to take what I just told you about this S-curve and slightly tweak your pictures just to make them that much better, make sure you tag me on Instagram so I can see what you've done. My Instagram is shotbynew. You should see it right here on the screen. Thanks for watching another video, you guys. I'm New 2 Times. I love all of you. Thanks for being subs. And I will catch you on the next one. Peace.